Alright, let's dive into something that's got the metal community buzzing. STRYPER's new lyric video For Ashes to Roses, and their upcoming album Throne of Thorns. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just say this. STRYPER is one of those bands that's been around for decades, yet they still manage to keep things fresh. And that's no small feat in an industry where so many bands either fade into obscurity or become parodies of themselves. So, what's different this time around? Let's break it down. First off, the hook here is Ashes to Roses. Michael Sweet, the band's frontman, describes it as a throwback/classic rock vibe with that signature STRYPER sound. Personally, I think this is a smart move. In a world where metal bands are often pressured to either go heavier or more experimental, STRYPER is leaning into their roots while still giving fans something new. It's like they're saying, hey, we know who we are, but we're not afraid to evolve. And that balance? That's what makes this really interesting. It's not just a nostalgia trip, it's a band that's still hungry, still pushing boundaries, even if those boundaries are their own. Now, let's talk about the album Throne of Thorns. This is their 18th studio album, which is insane when you think about it. Most bands would have called it quits by now, but STRYPER? They're doubling down. Robert Sweet, the drummer, says this might be their best record yet. Bold claim, right? But here's the thing, when you listen to the title track, you start to see why. It's heavy, it's melodic, it's classic STRYPER, but there's this renewed energy, this sense of purpose. It's like they've taken everything they've learned over the past 43 years and distilled it into something that feels both timeless and urgent. What makes this album stand out, in my opinion, is how it blends the old with the new. Michael Sweet's vocals are as powerful as ever, but there's this depth to the songwriting that feels more mature, more reflective. Take the lyrics, for example. Throne of Thorns isn't just a cool title, it's a powerful message about redemption and sacrifice. It's the kind of thing that's always been at the core of STRYPER's music, but here, it feels more personal, more lived in. And that's what great art does, right? It takes universal truths and makes them feel intimate. One thing that immediately stands out is the production. The album is packed with these grand, meticulously crafted arrangements. The guitar harmonies, the anthemic choruses, it's all there, but it never feels overdone. It's like they've found this perfect balance between intensity and melody. And that's not easy to do, especially for a band that's been around as long as they have. What many people don't realize is how hard it is to stay relevant without losing your identity. STRYPER's managed to do that, and I think that's why they're still resonating with both longtime fans and newcomers. Now, let's talk about the broader implications here. STRYPER has always been more than just a metal band. They've been pioneers in the Christian metal scene, and their message has always been front and center. But what's fascinating to me is how they've managed to stay true to that message while still appealing to a wider audience. It's not just about the lyrics, it's about the way they carry themselves, the way they approach their craft. They're not preachy, they're authentic. And in a world where authenticity is harder and harder to come by, that's worth celebrating. If you take a step back and think about it, STRYPER's longevity is a testament to something bigger. It's about passion, about refusing to quit, about believing in what you're doing even when the world tells you to move on. Perry Richardson said it best, the best music doesn't come from comfort. It comes from living, struggling, growing, and refusing to quit. That's not just a statement about their music, it's a statement about life. And that's why this album, this moment, feels so significant. So, here's my closing thought. STRYPER's Throne of Thorns isn't just another album. It's a reminder of what's possible when you stay true to yourself, when you keep pushing, when you refuse to settle. It's a masterclass in songwriting, in musicianship, in perseverance. And whether you've been a fan for decades or you're just discovering them now, there's something here for you. So, go check it out. Let me know what you think. Because, personally, I think this is the kind of music that doesn't just entertain, it inspires. And in a world that could always use a little more inspiration, that's something worth celebrating.